Thank you, guys. Yes, I'm here with Garry, and we've been discussing this position. Garry, what do you think about Anish's reaction to this whole situation?
Look, I mean, I can explain what's happened. So he was very comfortable. He had great position of the opening. You know, he could build up his pressure, and at one point I think he lost control of the game because he wanted to win in just instantly. So this is the moment we discussed when he played Queen H5. So all of a sudden, he began spending time. I mean, this is position is winning. We discussed it, or nearly winning. But this is problem. It's winning, but not winning. So that's you still need to find the right moves, and you have to be cautious because White has some resources. And I think he got nervous because he believed that he had to beat these two Romanians. Now he nearly escaped in round one. And now he said, oh, okay, now I got him because the look at the position is so good, and I will definitely finish him off. And when he played Bishop E4, and he already missed some of his advantage. And then when Lupulescu found his counterplay with Queen D5 and E4, I think Giri got angry with himself. He was behind in time. Position all of a sudden became complicated, and it's very difficult to change, to change to rebuild your mind because you already, you're on offensive. You had an advantage. You pushed, and now you have to defend. Position when your position was here was after E4, where this is after E4. It's still okay for Black, but it's very different. Now White, that was passive all the whole game was passive. The White pieces didn't cross.
No, his pieces are more advanced.
Exactly, because the whole game, I think, is just the Queen D5 was the first move, I think, for White. Exactly, over the fourth line. So and all of a sudden, they just crossed, and there were threats, and when he got his Queen on F7, I think Giri simply panicked, and then he saw this trick, nice trick, Rook E8, Queen, Rook H2 check, Queen King H1, Rook H2 check, and he said, oh, maybe that's my chance, and then after Rook E7, it's over, and.
He was talking about this in round number 1. He was trying to understand how much risk he can take against these two underdogs, let's say, the two Romanian players. How do you quantify that whenever you're playing and whenever you're preparing against a weaker opposition?
Look, it's not just about risk. It's about just recognizing that it's you just have to make good moves. Yeah. So. He took risk in round 1 by playing risky opening. It's a very sharp position, and deck had a lot of play with White, so that was risky, and he nearly escaped. Today he was not in the mood of taking any risk, and what kind of risk again? What we saw, all White pieces were just they haven't crossed the fourth rank.
The ideal setup.
Yeah, exactly. And Giri now a very comfortable position with many choices. So to improve this, to do this or that, and then when he reached the point where he had to deliver. So it's about finding sort of the move that could change better position for not maybe winning, but to a position where your advantage becomes very tangible. So he put the wrong piece on E4, so he had to look for knight E4, but he just he didn't want probably to remove knight on C5, and he played bishop E4, and then he won the pawn. But you saw what's happening. He won the pawn, but all of a sudden, all White pieces that were absolutely passive now became active, especially these two rooks. They just, had nothing to do, so they were just sitting in ambush. It reminds me of my game with Kasparov, game 24, when I played with Black, Rook E7, Rook E8, so two rooks, just behind the pawn. Yes. So, and all of a sudden, these rooks now, they got an open file, and while, Giri's attack against the king, White king, went bust, because his Rook on G3 is just doing absolutely nothing. So it's just Rook on F2 protects it, and then just, White organized attack. And he had not enough time to shift gears and just start thinking about how to save the game. Just he was still I think it's under the impression that maybe I have a chance, and that's how he played Queen C6, Queen C5, and got.
Speaking of that, you were mentioning at some point that he spent a lot of time on one particular move. I think it was Queen to H5, which he spent 20 minutes. Can you spend 20 minutes in this type of super complicated position and then still take
but
the
he,
right
played,
decisions?
he played very quickly. But again, he was trying to find out how to convert his promising position, into something something real. And I'm sure it was not about Queen H5, but it's about next moves. So what's the next move? Because Bishop E1 is natural, but White's only chance to survive is to bring Bishop on G3, because otherwise they will be crashed. With Queen H5, Rook G6, it's over. So here I'm sure Giri was thinking about what's my next move, and he didn't figure it out. So we know that Rook H6 94 was the best one. Yeah, but he just looked for Bishop E4, and it's probably still that Black had some edge, but Lupulescu found the best move, Bishop E1, and it defended.
He did indeed. How do you feel about the games so far, and what are you looking forward to the next few rounds?
Look, I hope that we'll see some real show. There's definitely all the players can.
Speaking of the show, actually, he just resigned.
Yes, yeah. Look, we expect from these great players, a real show, the games that could be entertaining, and so far we saw very little from the elite players, and it's everything that happened in the tournament happened in the games played by two Romanian players. By the way, this is also Droyas.
The other one is still being played on.
Yeah, okay.
They're still fighting.
I'm curious, who is fighting? Actually,
probably Bogdan.
No, are you sure?
I don't see how Mamediyarov can hope for anything at this point, but maybe to catch the rook somehow.
Yes,
it doesn't feel likely.
It doesn't. Yes, yes.
Maybe
but again,
take an H4.
Yeah, but at least they're playing.
They're playing. Yes, yes.
They're playing, and okay. What I hope is that we'll have some fun, in other games, not only in the games of Romanian players.
We're definitely looking forward to more exciting games. Thank you, Garry, once again for joining us and blessing us with your analysis.
Yes.